Welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Serpent. And yes, the SEC does keeps on stalling. It is ridiculous what is going on. So in this latest news article that came out, basically they're speaking about how the SEC may be stalling to hurt Ripple's business to a point of reaching their desired settlement conditions. Otherwise, a fair notice defense could nurture the regulator for years. So what they're talking about is, the SEC has the power and the potential to drag this out for as long as they want. And we've seen court cases in the past, go for years and years and years. And at the moment, what we're talking about here is the fact that, they are stalling at the moment. So the world of blockchain technology is moving fast, and Ripple is in a top position to lead the finance industry to adapt distributed ledger to its processes. Except the lawsuit, the lawsuit is slowing them down, and that is a fact. And so this article talks about how the SEC is slowing down Ripple. What are the implications? How long can the SEC drag this out further? And let's see where we're at. It's going to be really, 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 really fascinating to watch this unfold over the next couple of weeks, because I think a settlement is on its way, but I think there's a lot more behind closed doors that we're not seeing, right? What are the negotiations that they're having? What terms does Ripple want? Because the understanding from Brad Garlinghouse is that they want to settle only if it's advantageous to Ripple and XRP. So only at that stage. Now, if you look at page number 17 of the Cryptocurrencies Guide to Getting Started, on one of those pages, on page 17, you've got the following. You got Algorand, Cardano, Celo, XRP, Solana, and Stellar. So they are currently on page 17 of the World Economic Forum PDF. So in this particular PDF, they talk about a guide to getting started in the global world, the Future Council of Cryptocurrency. So this is a community paper that was launched just a couple of days ago. Very, very fascinating to find these 5 in there. And I want to know in the comments below, do you have any of these? Do you have all of them? And which one of these is your favorite? I want to know in the comments, because for me, user participation is so important. I pick up so much from you guys in the comments, and I read every single one of them, even though sometimes I may not reply, but I do read and engage. I appreciate what you're saying, and it has improved the channel tremendously. So if you got any of these, write it down in the comments, and if you which one is your favorite out of these as well. So I'll be very, very curious to know that. So Ripple announces new ODL corridor slams banks for inefficient cross-border payments in new report. So Ripple has come out and said what the banks are up to and how they're doing it at the moment is ridiculous. And they're saying SMEs are increasingly reliant on cross-border payments, yet 71% say that these payments are problematic. Problematic being small businesses when it comes to having payments go cross-border, right? So if I've got people that work for me in another country, a small business really struggles with this particular part of paying employees across other countries, because it is expensive, time consuming, and overall the fees are astronomical. And this is the major problem that Ripple is looking to solve. Now, what I find fascinating, back in September 2020, when it comes to Bitcoin, people were waiting for the 8 to 9,000 before kicking off again and continuing the bull run that Bitcoin has had. That was in September. Now they're waiting for the 28 to 30k. So it's really fascinating, how almost a year, but what a difference it makes. And I think this chart is spot on in the way that things are going at the moment. And I don't think we have to wait until September to kick off the party again and continue the momentum. But we are at the moment trending sideways. There is absolutely no doubt about it. But it just goes to show the perspective, right? Before you were waiting for an $8,000 to $9,000 before kicking off again, and now we're waiting for a 28 to 30k. So always hold. I cannot say that word enough. One of the key things about Brad Garlinghouse and the mission of XRP as well is that they're looking to drive massive demand by solving a multi-trillion-dollar problem. When I get comments saying it can't go to $10, it can't go to $100, it can. It actually can. I wouldn't be here wasting your time if it couldn't. Why are people into XRP? Why do I bring you updates? Is to just remind you that they're trying to solve a multi-trillion-dollar problem. And when they do, those prices will happen. Now, I've seen something interesting here from Nathan. So Nathan Fellows from Max Damage _ Nate on Twitter. He's put something interesting out here, saying that if we retest the 65 cent zone, then we would be completing the phase C of the Wyckoff accumulation. So that's a very, very interesting theory and something to look out for, because I do believe that over the next 24, 48 hours, there probably is another opportunity to get into the 65 cents zone, and that will be a great opportunity to buy in and buy a loss. Like if you're not in XRP, buy. If you are in XRP, hold. But I think this is really, really fascinating and something to definitely keep an eye on. Let's jump into Atani. Let's see what Atani is telling us. All right, so we're inside Atani and we're on the hour at the moment. And let me turn on some of the indicators. By the way, there is a video on how to get all this and how to make it work. Now, what's really, really fascinating here is the volume. Look at that. Like, it could not be smaller right now. Like, the amount of things that are happening is like very, very little activity, like hardly any activity at all. 6 hour gets just a tiny bit better. On the 12 hour, you can see like, the Bollinger Band is so small at the moment, right? So small, very, very little volume. It's almost completely flat, which is incredible, to watch at the moment. Very much sitting on the bottom of the RSI on the daily and on the 12 hourly as well. So I think we are, based on this, I think we are dipping a little bit more over the next 24 to 48 hours, and we can definitely see. We could potentially see that 64 cents being hit again. We're not going anywhere near below, lower than that, but judging by this, it does tend to indicate that we are going to be going a lot lower. Let's have a look at some drawings. Let's see what can we expect. Okay, so let's first have a look at the charts, because I know that there's been quite a few questions around, can we see 50 cents? Is it possible to get down to 50? And what would that look like, right? So, I mean, anything is possible, right? I mean, when you draw lines, you can pretty much tell yourself and, describe whatever story you want to describe to yourself. This would be the story if it were to get to 50, and why it would get to 50. Now, I don't think we're going to get to 50. But for the sake of drawing drawings, have a drawing about getting to 30 cents again. You can really, really make any drawing you want. Any drawing. But that doesn't mean it's going to happen. And what tends to happen is that there's two things that people do. They don't buy the dip, or they wait to see some miracle like a 50 cents or a 30 cents and never buy, and then they get bored and then they don't buy. And when it gets to the top, they don't sell because they're like, I just want more and more and more. So these are the common patterns of trading. I don't think we're going to get to 50 cents. I think we'll touch 65 cents again, and then we'll kick off. So I think 60, 65 cents, yes, I can see that happening. I do not see 50 and lower. That's just, that's my opinion. I'm not a financial advisor. It's not financial advice. I'm just warning you that if you try and wait for the perfect entry of 50, it will not happen. That's my opinion. And of course, I'd love to know what you think, but I don't see it. I really, really, really don't see it. Now, from 60, I think we can catapult and move forward and get that resistance out of the way, push above the 120 resistance, retest $1, and then go forward towards $1.60 and beyond. And of course, the bigger picture, as always, there is so much more to go. So much more to go throughout this bull run, and I wanted to come out and I like to finish on on the bigger picture, because it's important to be reminded of what is going out there in the marketplace. But for now, what we can expect over the next couple of weeks, maybe perhaps a little bit more sideways into towards the $2, then break out into 4. Retest $2.50 and then break to $5.50 and beyond. There might be, like throughout September, we might see another major setback for the industry and another major retest for the industry where we could potentially go back into, 84, 90 cents, and that could happen, right? So we're just going to be prepared for all scenarios, but the road is bright, it's shiny, and I cannot wait for Flare to kick in, to launch, and for the whole industry to, kick off for the American summer, the Australian winter. We're in for a massive run. If you did learn something new today, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. As always, thank you, and I look forward to see you on the next one.